A few days after the legendary investor Stanley Druckenmiller warned of a $200 trillion US debt burden, the MicroStrategy founder, Michael Saylor, predicted a Bitcoin stampede as a result of the loss of confidence in the US dollar and banking system. This statement was made in March, when the banking crisis were causing a ruckus in the crypto industry. Meltdowns in banks and the meltdowns in currencies is driving a stampede of smart money to Bitcoin, Saylor, who led the software company into buying 140,000 Bitcoin, said. Now, the rules are simple. You should just be a strong advocate for the cryptocurrency you support. Michael Saylor has reflected this action severally, leading us to wonder whether Cardano has solid proponents or not. Pointing to the struggling economic situation in Venezuela and Argentina, where inflation had spiraled to triple-digit percentages, Michael Saylor said, "If you lose confidence in the currency, the banks, then you lose confidence in fiat currency as money, and therefore the money is dying." He added, "If I can't trust the bank, if I can't move money cross-border, and if the currency is losing value every year or every month, then I start thinking about commodity monies, such as gold and Bitcoin." In every interview or conversation involving MicroStrategy CEO, Bitcoin ends up becoming the golden emphasis. That's how much he believes in the largest cryptocurrency by market cap. He has presented several predictions about Bitcoin, whether realistic or not, and even his company is a high for Bitcoin. So will he ever say anything about Cardano ADA? Caught up with an onslaught of regulatory enforcement actions, MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor believes the United States crypto industry is poised for a Bitcoin-focused future. Perhaps Bitcoin is his definition of peace in the storm. Recently, in an interview, Saylor claimed that the declarations from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission were laying the foundation for the next Bitcoin bull run. Regulatory clarity is going to drive Bitcoin adoption by eliminating the confusion and anxiety that has been holding back institutional investors, said Saylor. He further pointed out that confusion stems from other crypto securities for which regulators don't see a legitimate path forward in the United States. You know the story. The SEC sued Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the US, alleging that the company has listed over a dozen securities on its platform without registering as a securities exchange. The agency has potentially been hesitant to properly define what can be classified as a security until filing a lawsuit, for which it has been criticized by the industry and Congress. However, probably to the joy of Michael Saylor, the SEC ruled out Bitcoin from being a security, deeming it sufficiently decentralized to be called a commodity. As a result, Saylor believes the regulatory crackdown on stablecoins and other tokens will likely send Bitcoin's long-term dominance back above 80% of the total crypto market. The public is beginning to realize that Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. The next logical step is for Bitcoin to 10x from here, and then 10x again. He said, "If everything is about Bitcoin, what happens to other cryptocurrencies?" In addition, Saylor doubled down on the positives that await backers of the premier digital currency. In an interview with CNBC, Saylor explained that Bitcoin has an unprecedented endorsement from 4 United States presidential candidates, and the recent Bitcoin support initiative being introduced by large money managers, including BlackRock, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab, among others, is a sign that they know that Bitcoin is a clear winning asset. The CEO is also bullish on the fact that the general public is beginning to feel a soft spot for Bitcoin, as he noted that the broader crypto market has formed around the cryptocurrency. Based on the lack of regulatory clarity wrapping around the digital currency ecosystem, Saylor noted that reading thousands of legal documents concerning these regulations, Bitcoin is the only universally accepted commodity, and it can form a rallying point on which other assets can hinge. So Bitcoin is like a model cryptocurrency placed on a high pedestal to which other coins look up to. To an extent, Saylor is right. No altcoin may stand a chance to surpass Bitcoin, but every coin is marked out by its niche and leverage. But as far as Saylor is concerned, the future will bring a parade of positives for that intent on proliferating Bitcoin as an instrument of economic empowerment. In fact, he tweeted, #Bitcoin now has the support of presidential candidates, regulators, legislators, money managers, bankers, investors, and the general public. The future will bring a parade of positives for those intent on proliferating Bitcoin as an instrument of economic empowerment. Bitcoin has survived several regulatory hardships, and with related bullish comments from personalities like Michael Saylor, sentiment surrounding the cryptocurrency is bound to soar. However, the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, had a clash with Michael Saylor last year. Last year, in an AMA session from Mongolia, Charles Hoskinson shared his thoughts on Michael Saylor calling Cardano a security. Hoskinson responded to Saylor's claims about ADA and compared him to Tone Vays in the current period the crypto market is living through. The Cardano founder reminded the community about Vays, who used to be very popular for calling everything except Bitcoin a scam. Hoskinson stated that Michael Saylor has taken his place, acknowledging that Bitcoin is the way, and everything else is a scam or a security. Well, if someone just climbs a podium and screams, "Hey guys, Cardano is the way," won't Charles Hoskinson be pleased? Crypto founders may not express it directly, but they are pleased when public endorsements are made for their crypto platforms. But why is Saylor's mode of endorsement deemed offensive? With Saylor's claims about ADA being a security, the Cardano founder reminded the community that Cardano is far more decentralized than Bitcoin. According to him, it has far more utility than Bitcoin, which is merely a store of value, saying that people keep buying ADA not just to speculate, but to spend ADA on various products and services offered by the Cardano-based projects. And even a couple of months ago in a video, Charles Hoskinson brought this up. He stressed the platform's advancement in the face of criticism, as well as detailing the plans for the year, such as global workshops on Cardano Improvement Proposal CIP 1694, writing a ton of really great code with a special emphasis on decentralization efforts. He said, "I believe that we'll be substantially more decentralized than all cryptocurrencies on the market, which is one of the primary goals of these types of protocols." Also, he was more specific when he argued that criticism is always going to be there, but in the long run, I think we're going to win because we're winning together as opposed to a particular company, a particular agenda, or a particular person. According to him, there's no greater example for that than when we have our moment when we get to measure Cardano's decentralization against the rest of the cryptocurrency space, and I think it's going to be a wake-up call for all of them. Above all, the Cardano founder admitted that he does not pay much attention to the claims of the MicroStrategy CEO, and he does not think that arguing with him about ADA would be a productive conversation. Sharing his view about Bitcoin maximalists, he called them the most difficult, toxic, and useless people to engage with. However, Charles Hoskinson has repeatedly been caught up with Bitcoin maximalists, even though he claimed that they were toxic people. Following the recent revelation of BlackRock's application for a spot in the Bitcoin ETF, he found himself at odds with Bitcoin maximalists. Divergent opinions on potential effects of BlackRock's involvement in the crypto space popped out of every corner and prompted a contentious debate among the crypto community in response to the announcement. When BlackRock submitted paperwork to the SEC outlining its plans to provide institutional investors with a regulated vehicle to gain exposure to Bitcoin's price movements without directly holding the digital asset, news of the asset management giant's interest in developing a Bitcoin spot ETF broke. Charles Hoskinson responded to the update by voicing his skepticism and worries. He rebuffed the enthusiastic support of Bitcoin maximalists for BlackRock's participation in the crypto market on Twitter. He said, "Bitcoiners defending BlackRock is all you need to know about their ethics, mental state, and greed." Hoskinson claimed that such support was naive, cautioning that the proposed Bitcoin ETF might bring in large amount of new capital and ultimately lower the value of Bitcoin. Charles Hoskinson's comments offended Bitcoin maximalists, understandably so, who strongly favored this idea. They contended that BlackRock's entry into the cryptocurrency market will significantly validate Bitcoin and increase its acceptance by the general public, parting the curtains for even more adoption and recognition. Maximalists even viewed this as a favorable development that might not just help Bitcoin, but also help other strong projects like Cardano, which Hoskinson himself founded. However, even though Cardano could benefit from this development, Hoskinson reinforced his perceptions, underlining his worries regarding the possible repercussions of BlackRock's engagement. He said, "I'm old enough to remember when Mike Hearn and Gavin being driven out. I'm old enough to remember Jimmy Song pushing for the US government to ban all crypto except Bitcoin. Sorry, maximalists are fanatics that just want to harm us all." Nonetheless, heated debates and arguments will not help the Cardano ecosystem grow. Bitcoin has made its mark, and Cardano should do likewise, using better strategies. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you click on the subscribe notification buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.